Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronia, and in today's video it is the long-awaited passive income report. So since changing my uploading schedule, I no longer do monthly passive income reports, and so these are going to be uploaded maybe every 2 or 3 months. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I do have a video where I talk about changing my uploading schedule, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already. I will link it up here for you and in the description below. But in today's video we're going to be looking at my income report for April and May and comparing that to February as well. And so I'm very excited to see how those months went. And in case you're kind of new and don't really know what passive income is, I do have a quick definition here. And so bankrate.com says that passive income is a source of revenue that continues even after the work is complete. And so in my report, I'm specifically going to be talking about the income I received from my bank interest, dividends, affiliate marketing, my paid products, free shares, and YouTube ad revenue. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first let's talk about my non-business stuff, and we're going to talk about my bank interest. Now, I actually have a joint account with my husband, and so what I'm going to be doing is dividing the bank interest by 2, because that's also how it gets shown on my bank statement as well. And so in February I ended up making £1.11, and then in March I ended up making £2.03, and then in April I ended up making £1.84. So of course not a lot. I mean, interest rates are quite low still at the moment. They are starting to increase, so I wasn't expecting much, but you know, that could get you a few things if you wanted to take that to the supermarket. So every little helps, as I like to say. Then next up, let's talk about dividends. So if you're not really sure what dividends are, basically if you invest, let's say through the stock market, and you invest in certain companies, or you invest in something called funds, there are companies that may issue dividends, and they're almost like a thank you to people who own their shares, so the shareholders. And so what they may do is give like a percentage of their profit. And so I've been able to get some dividends since investing in the stock market. But if you do want to learn a bit more about the steps that I took to not only start investing my money but also to manage my money in general, then I do have a free money management guide that explains that in so much more detail. So make sure you do check that out if you haven't already. I will link it up here for you and in the description below. But in terms of dividends, when it came to February, I did make £1.52, so that's how much I received. And in March I made slightly more, so in March I ended up making £2.27, and then in April I made even more than that, which was absolutely amazing. I ended up receiving £5.24, and so this is just literally me investing in some of these companies, and I've been able to just get this free money without having to do any work at all. So to receive more than £5 definitely isn't bad. I mean, I could also take that to the supermarket, and so I'm quite happy with that. And then obviously the more that you invest, the more potential dividends you may be able to receive. So it's definitely something that I will continue to invest in the future. And if you're liking this video so far, then feel free to give me a thumbs up, as it really does help to support the channel. Plus, I'm sure you know, it's free. Next up, let's talk about affiliate marketing. Now, when it comes to affiliate marketing, what essentially will happen is if I refer you to something and you maybe buy something using my link, so I do have links in the description below in terms of, you know, the membership that I'm a part of, what SIM contract I use, and also some of my favorite books. If you click on those links and let's say you buy something, then it means I am likely to get a small commission off that, and it's at no additional cost to you. So make sure you do check out my links in the description below if you're ever interested in any of that. But when it comes to affiliate marketing, in February I did end up making about £3.76, but I did make much more in March and April. And if we compare it to last year honestly I was struggling to make like £1 a month, so to be making more than £1 is definitely progress in my eyes. But in March I ended up making £11.17, so I was very happy with that because I ended up making more than £10. And then in April I did make slightly less, but I ended up making £10.48, so still above the £10 mark, which definitely isn't bad. I feel like I am on track to hitting my target. By the end of the year I was hoping that I could make £100 worth of affiliate sales, so it seems like I am on track. So we'll see how that goes, but yeah, not too bad to be over £10 for the past couple of months. And then next up, let's talk about paid products. And so if you didn't know, I do have budget templates that you can buy. These are the same budget templates that I use for my own personal finances, and so it includes a net worth statement. You also get a sinking fund calculator, and then you have the choice between either a monthly budget template or a weekly budget template, obviously depending on how you get paid. And so in terms of my paid products, I ended up making £26.59 in February, but then when it came to March I did make slightly more, which is great. So in March March, I made £32.20. And then in April, that went down quite a bit. I didn't make as much in April. During that month, I ended up making about £9.08. So a lot less compared to March and February. And you'll also see that reflected in my YouTube ad revenue as well. So there seems to be kind of a link there, I think. But you know, regardless, people are still buying my templates, which is amazing. So yeah, I'm still happy overall. So next up, let's talk about free shares. Now with free shares, we're at an interesting time because I probably am not going to be able to report on free shares anymore. One of the reasons is because I think with FREETRADE, apparently they've said that people on social media can no longer talk about free shares, which I heard from my network. So I've decided that I'm not going to promote free shares because I don't want to get in trouble. And so with that, obviously it means that I probably won't be able to get any free shares from FREETRADE. And then also when it comes to the other investment platform that I use, which is Trading 212, they haven't been giving free shares literally since last year because they still have people on the wait list. So unfortunately, I can no longer talk about free shares unless Trading 212 finally opens up and then starts giving out free shares. But yeah, for now, the other months means that there's been a big fat zero. Then next up, let's talk about YouTube ad revenue. So if you happen to watch any ads on my videos, I obviously make money from that, and so does YouTube. But the longer you watch those ads, the more money I make, even if it's a few pence. Every little helps, guys. And so when it came to YouTube ad revenue in February, I actually ended up making £152.45. But then in March, I ended up making more, which is great. So in March, I made £174.97, which was happy days, but I did end up making much less in April. So in April, I made £107.94. Part of that was probably because I've now changed my uploading schedule, so I'm uploading less videos. And then there was a week where I ended up missing an upload as well. So I'm not too surprised that I did end up having less, but you know, to still get more than £100 isn't too bad considering I think I only had about 4 videos up that month. So yeah, I'm still happy regardless, and we'll see how we go going forward. I will be interested to see whether my ad revenue does continue to decrease because I'm only going to be doing videos once a week instead of twice a week. So it'd be good to kind of measure out and see how that goes. I'm still going to carry on with my once a week videos, but you never know, things may change. So in total, when it comes to my passive income, I do keep forgetting that I did have a video talking about my February passive income report, but since it's been a while, you know, I thought I may as well remind you guys. So in February, I did end up making £185.43, which is around $248. So that was February. My total in March came to £222.64, which is around $278. And then in April, my total came to about £134.58, which is around $168. So you can see that in March, I was able to cross the 200 mark, which I was very happy with, especially because that's kind of my goal. But it did dip in April. Obviously, I only made 134, but considering I wasn't necessarily that consistent in April, I'm still happy that I at least made over £100, so I can't complain with that. But hopefully in the future, if I can make more than 200, that would be great. If I don't, it's okay too. So if you did like this video, then please do give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments, how is your passive income going? I do post every Tuesday, so if you would like to know more, then of course you can subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next Tuesday.